Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Max AC channel. After doing this cooking show for a while now, my favorite month's theme has always been this month. So once again, we will be doing Nostalgic November, where we'll be taking a look at another 4 more easy and delicious recipes from my childhood that will hopefully help you to create memories of your own. For this episode, we will be making some Chinese hot dog buns. For this recipe, we'll need a 1/4 cup of Tangzhong, which you can make with 2 tablespoons of flour and a 1/2 cup of water. And you will also need 2.5 cups or 300 grams of flour, 2 to 3 tablespoons of sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon or a 1/2 packet of active dry yeast, 1/2 cup of milk, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 teaspoon of oil for coating the bowl, and 8 hot dogs. And if you wish to make your buns look nice, you will also need 1 egg yolk and 1 tablespoon of milk to make an egg wash, and some sesame seeds for some optional garnish. This should be good enough for about 8 buns, so just as needed. First, we'll prepare the Tangzhong. So in a pan, mix together your 2 tablespoons of flour and a 1/2 cup of water. Then bring this to a simmer on medium heat for 3 to 4 minutes until it thickens into a paste. Then remove this from the heat and transfer this to an airtight container, and then chill this for at least an hour or overnight in the fridge before you use it. When you're ready to mix your dough together, add your 1/2 cup of milk into a pot and heat this up to scald the milk. Then transfer this to a bowl to allow it to cool to 110 degrees Fahrenheit before adding in your yeast and a pinch of sugar. Give this a mix and let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes until the yeast is activated and the mixture has bubbles on the surface. Also, during this time, if needed, take out your butter from the fridge to allow it to soften. When your Tangzhong, milk, and butter are ready, in a large bowl, add in your flour, sugar, and salt and give this a quick mix. Then add in your Tangzhong, milk yeast mixture, egg, and softened butter, and mix this until it's thoroughly combined and forms into a shaggy dough. Then turn your dough onto a clean work surface sprinkled with some flour and knead this by hand for 15 minutes until the dough becomes smooth and is no longer sticky. Then pinch and pull the ends of the dough to form this into a ball. Next, coat a bowl with your oil, and then add in your dough ball to coat it with the oil. Then cover this with a damp towel and let this proof for an hour or 2, or until it doubles in size. Once your dough is proofed, punch down your dough and then divide this into 8 even pieces. Cover the dough pieces with a damp towel, and then for each dough piece, roll and press it into an oval shape. Next, roll this into a long cylinder, and then roll and stretch this until the cylinder becomes about double the size of a hot dog lengthwise. Then when your dough is ready, wrap it around a hot dog in a spiral shape, tucking in the end to secure the dough. Repeat this for each bun, then cover them all with a damp towel again and let this rest for another 30 minutes or so. When you're ready to bake your buns, preheat your oven to 385 degrees Fahrenheit. Then while we wait for that to heat up, in a small bowl, mix together your egg yolk and 1 tablespoon of milk. Then when your oven is ready, brush each bun with your egg wash and sprinkle it with some sesame seeds if desired, and then bake this for 15 minutes or until your buns are puffed up and have a nice golden color to them. When your buns are done, remove them from the oven, let them cool for a few minutes, and with that, your Chinese hot dog buns are ready to eat. With the weather getting chillier, I've been really craving some freshly baked Asian goods recently, but there aren't very many bakeries around where I live now. But when I was younger, I remember going to the Chinese bakery to buy a whole bunch of yummy milk bread and other pastries. And my favorite thing to get was always the milk bread bun stuffed with a hot dog, so I thought that would be a fun recipe to do for this month. Combining the sweet fluffiness of milk bread with the salty savouriness of the hot dog, this recipe is one of my favorites to make when I'm craving a wonderfully delicious bun to enjoy for breakfast or for a filling snack. I always thought that milk bread was too difficult to make at home, but it's actually not that different from baking normal bread. The thing that gives milk bread its signature soft, fluffy, moist texture, aside from the use of milk, is the Tangzhong. By cooking part of the flour beforehand, it helps the bread retain more moisture, resulting in a softer bread with a fluffier crumb. And it also helps the bread stay fresh for longer. Speaking of, for any leftovers, you can store them in the fridge for about 2 weeks or so, or you can freeze them for up to 3 months. Then when you want to reheat them, you can just warm them back up, either in the oven or microwave. But regardless of if you eat them fresh out of the oven or reheat them up from frozen, this fluffy, sweet, and salty bun will be a great way to enjoy a warm treat during the colder days of fall, to reminisce about your childhood, or to enjoy it any other time of the year. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. In the comments below, let me know how it went, if you decided to make it, and let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything you want to make next. Like this video, share with your friends and family, and subscribe to or follow this channel for more episodes of the Max AC channel. And remember, if you want to stay cool in the kitchen, turn your AC to the max and watch the Max AC channel. Cover the dough pieces with a damp towel